Hi all, Dr. JRK here. I'm coming to you today with a bit of science. Okay, I talked crap about Dana in my last video, but now I'm going to educate people about how to scare your neighbors and friends about climate change in a way that they will understand that this isn't complicated and there's basic physics in here. And so when I was doing my PhD in physics, me and the grad students, we would go up onto the roof on Fridays and get high as motherfuckers. And we would talk about the universe. It was really cool. But whenever we would come up upon climate change, we'd get a little scared. And we were bouncing around this idea, and so this analogy was born. And I think I've used it on people who were skeptical, and it brought the fear and the reality and the basic physics to light. And I want to share it with you. So think of the earth as a cooler. Okay, and you're sitting inside that cooler. You're the beer, maybe. And there's an ice and water mixture sitting right at 0 degrees, keeping that beer nice and cold. And it's not locked tight. Let's imagine it's a perfect isolated system. And the temperature bath remains constant. This is the zeroth law of thermodynamics. Okay. What happens when there's a crack in the cooler and you let some sunlight in? Okay. Over time, you're not really going to feel anything. That beer stays nice and frosty, doesn't it? But what's happening is the ice cubes are melting. Okay, this is the second law of thermodynamics, which relates to entropy. Okay, climate change is just an entropy problem. Entropy is a measure of the disorder of a system. And what the second law of thermodynamics says in layman's terms is that you have, whenever a state is in a non-equilibrium state, like you introduce energy into it, it will evolve towards a system of maximum entropy, maximum disorder. Okay. So having nice little ice cubes in your sitting around with all these ordered structures of the water molecules is not a very high entropy state compared to if they melt. Okay. It's just entropy exists in everything that you witness. Okay. It's actually responsible for the direction of time. Like for instance, when you see a broken egg on the ground, you know, and you knew that the egg was whole before, right? There's nothing in the laws of Newtonian physics that says that a broken egg can't just bounce back up onto the table or whatever and become an egg again. You could reverse everything. It's just how unlikely is it that all the thermal motion of the atoms in the floor would just pop the egg back into place? It's not going to happen, even though it's possible. So systems evolved that way. And so what's happening in the ice water mixture is the exact same thing. The energy is just going into chipping away the bonds of the water molecule. But you don't notice shit because you're in a phase transition, baby. And that's where the earth has been for the last, you know, hundreds of years. Like it's been slowed down because all the entropy has been doing its other business. Now we all know that, we're something's changing. We're getting near the end of this phase change. Now, also, instead of maybe thinking about ice cubes, maybe think about something else. Maybe like, I don't know, icebergs. Okay. Okay. It's not a perfect analogy, but it's good enough. Now, what happens when the last ice cube melts in the cooler? What happens to your beer then? When all the energy now just goes into stirring the water base, increasing the kinetic energy of the water molecules, raising the temperature. What happens to your beer then? It shoots straight up, baby. Woo! Then you're fucked. Your beer's fucked and you're fucked. Share that with your neighbors. Freak them out. They should be fucking freaked out.